So I'm here today down in a glorious weather of Cornwall on a fantastic July day. Quite rare in the UK at the moment for great summer weather, but we seem to have that nice balance today. And we've been guests today of the Kendall family, who have been farming here at St Ingunger farm for over 50 years. So I'm joined by Karen, who's going to tell us a little bit about the history of the farm and perhaps where the herd is going in the future. So Karen, thank you very much firstly.
You're welcome.
We've had a great morning filming with some of the other staff on the farm.
Yeah.
And getting a sense of the place. So tell us a little bit about the history of the place then.
Yes, well, my husband's family came here 53 years ago. They were tenants of the Lanhydra estate. They bought the farm in the mid-1990s. Mm-hmm. Also preceding that, bought various land blocks that build up the farm. So we're now farming, we own about 770 acres. Right. We're farming 1,100 acres roughly. Some of it long-term rent, some seasonal. Yeah. We've got 550 Holstein cows. Yep. Which you've seen today.
Yes, yeah, excellent. Very solid Holstein cows, yeah.
We grow, this year we've grown about 25 hectares of cereals, winter wheat and spring barley. Right. This fits in with the rotation. And with something like 250 hectares of forage maize. Right, okay, yeah. And does all that come into the herd here, or do you sell a bit of that as well? That's all for our own. Yeah. So it's quite a decent amount of maize going into the diet. Obviously we're in the dry cow shed at the moment, but yeah. I'd like to say what a cracking herd of very solid, good depth of body Holstein cows, and quite an impressive herd. So, and I believe they're doing around the 9,500 litre mark? Yes, we've got 550 cows doing around 9,500 litres. I think our average butter fat is around 4.2, protein is 3.35. Yeah. So we're doing that through our breeding and through nutrition. Yeah. Trying to maximise the milk contract that we have. We sell to Saputo, so our milk goes to be manufactured into cheddar cheese. Right, okay. The Cathedral City brand. Yeah. So yeah, that's what we try to do, is maximise the contract. That's it, and twice a day milking as well. So yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah, pretty, very decent yields indeed, but pretty exceptional constituents as well from these wonderful black and white cows. So yeah, and calf management, you're breeding all your own replacements. Yes, we 4 years ago we moved to block calving. Right. The main reason we did that was twofold: to improve our calf management, and to be more efficient with our feeding by stage of lactation. Right. And probably a third reason was to try and get a bit of work-life balance as well. Yeah. So we have peaks, but we have quieter times. And you just started into the calving. We're 2 weeks into calving. Yeah. I think yesterday we had 100 calves born. Right, So it's been very intense. It'll be quite intense now for a couple of months, and then it'll sort of it'll ease off, but we will calve over a 5-month period until November, just because we cannot manage to do it in a shorter period than that in terms of accommodation. And so accommodation's the restricting factor rather than probably. But maybe you'll try and tighten up. We've already tried to tighten it each year. We're trying to sort of take 1 or 2 weeks off the end of it, because by the end you were quite fatigued. Those last few seem to drag out, don't they? But again, like you're saying, those reasons for going down that route are quite a little bit different than the normal sort of. It's meant that we are able to clean and disinfect, and that's really important. We've got set protocols. We're cleaning and disinfecting, as well as sort of the routine calf management from when the calf hits the ground to what we do with it, to try to manage the best we can things like scour, pneumonia. We front load with sex semen on our heifers, first and second lactation cows. So the bulk of our heifers will be born now in the next 6 weeks. So the idea is that they'll come in 12 months, in 2 years' time, go to the bull. And again, focused on those, focus on those. So by having them in a tight bunch, it does aid management. Absolutely, absolutely, But no, they do look exceptional, the calves so far, and I'm sure that carries through when you're knee deep in them as well. But everything's ready, ready to go as well. And so you've grown. You were steady around the 300
cow mart for a little while, and then
11 years ago we got to sort of a bit of a crossroads. What were we going to do? The infrastructure was dated, pole needed replacing. So it was a case, are we committed to dairying or not? My husband and I felt we like cows, we couldn't see ourselves as beef farmers, and purely though we have beef. So we made a big commitment to put in a new rotary parlour, put out new sheds. We actually moved at that point to TMR feeding, which we hadn't done prior to that. So it was a huge investment, huge commitment, but 11 years later it was probably the best thing we did. We're pleased we did it, but each year we're still trying to sort of improve and enhance the facilities for the cows and for the people working here.
Well, I see, looking around the unit, and it's sad to say, but it's unusual for me to find tipping troughs that are actually tipped pretty regularly.
To admit, when Joseph first came to us, he just did that without being asked.
Good.
So we're very fortunate. We've got an excellent team. We're very much a family-led farm. My husband and I, our young sons. But we do need a brilliant team around us, and we're very lucky that's what we've got at the moment.
It's the key to it, isn't it? And ones that understand the cows and invested in them just as much as you guys are. For sure. And what do the next 10 years sort of look like without things are very changeable, and volatility of markets, of course, these days, all the rest of it. I guess you can't expand that way because you've got that Rocking Great Road in the way. But
cow numbers aren't an ego trip for us.
No.
We went 300, 550-ish to make the investment sustainable. Going forward, I think my husband and I see next few years as consolidation. We want, there's still more, there is improvement in efficiency that we can achieve. But beyond that, really, it depends. We've got 13 and 15-year-old sons. It's up to them in maybe 5-10 years' time how they want to move it forward.
They want to move forward, indeed. Another great feature that I like, of course, is sand cubicles. I'm a huge fan. I was very lucky enough in my last on-farm sort of role to have sand cubicles. They are an equal nightmare and a blessing with the management of it. How do you manage that sand, and particularly through the slurry system?
It's a challenge. We were early adopters of sand bedding, really. In fact, I was fortunate enough to go to America on a trip 9 years ago, and they're banging on sand. But we've already been doing it. And at times you think the consequence of having a slurry system that is going to coat with the sand, it is very, very difficult. Constantly testing it, breaking down, and also the increase in pHs out in the field is becoming a bit of a challenge. But deep down we know it's absolutely the right thing for the cows. We're lucky that we've got good source from the north coast, Padstow sea sand, which we have delivered in regularly. So at the moment we're committed to that system. But it has its challenges.
That's it, and I mean, you raise a point there. And we equally found this, having the right sand it helps a lot. For sure, not just in terms of the comfort aspect and the inertness of it, but handling the abrasive nature of it.
Our slurry system, we separate it here. It's then pumped into 3 sand lanes to try and separate as much sand as possible, because our main slurry lagoon is actually nearly 1,000 metres away. So
but plenty of settling opportunities for the sand, though.
So it is challenging. We've got to keep flushing it through as well. But nothing perfect.
No, and not a cheap, sort of investment either. The separation lanes, but I think by far the best way of separating the sand. I'd seen multiple ways in the States, like as I'm sure you did when you were out there, and some of the mechanical ones are, but the separation and when you separate it, are you able to recover any, or is it purely just separation for the soil?
It goes out with the dung and out in the field. So we don't buy in a sand for the fields. No, very good. Well, thank you very much indeed. It has been a great day, sort of looking around, and it'd be nice to come back in a few years' time and see the extra tweaks. I mean, like you say, there's always efficiencies to be made, isn't there? And I think
sadly, you know, cow numbers chasing the ego to beat the neighbours is not the most profitable always. But I can see exceptional herd of cows, very well managed, and a great team that's fully bought in. So thank you very much to you all. Yeah.
Thank you.